As the first rays of sunlight break over the horizon, casting long shadows across the weathered stones, a sense of awe washes over you. These ancient circles, standing silently for thousands of years, hold secrets that have captivated humanity for generations. Were they simply tools for tracking the passage of time, or did they serve as cosmic maps, guiding our ancestors through the mysteries of the heavens? From the iconic majesty of Stonehenge to the lesser-known but equally intriguing sites scattered across the globe, stone circles have sparked endless fascination and debate. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of this enigma. Were these structures ancient calendars, cosmic blueprints, or perhaps something even more profound? Join us as we journey through history, astronomy, and archaeology to uncover the truths behind these timeless monuments, secrets that have puzzled and inspired us for millennia. From the windswept moors of Britain to the sun-baked plains of Africa, stone circles rise from the earth like silent sentinels of the past. These enigmatic structures are not confined to a single region or culture. They span continents, appearing in Europe, Asia, Africa, and even the Americas. Their presence across such vast distances raises a compelling question. What drove these ancient peoples, separated by thousands of miles and centuries, to create such similar monuments? The answer, it seems, lies in a shared human fascination with the heavens above. Many of these circles share striking similarities in their construction. Large stones, often weighing several tons, were carefully arranged in precise patterns. Some align with the rising and setting of the sun during solstices or equinoxes, while others seem to map the movements of the moon and stars. This suggests that these structures were more than just random arrangements of rocks. They were deliberate, purposeful creations, but what was their purpose? Scholars have proposed a range of theories. Some believe stone circles served as ceremonial sites, places where communities gathered to honor their gods or ancestors. Others argue they were astronomical tools, designed to track celestial events and mark the passage of time. Imagine standing in the center of one of these circles as the sun rises perfectly between two towering stones on the summer solstice. It's not hard to see why our ancestors might have viewed these alignments as sacred. Yet, for all their similarities, stone circles also reflect the unique cultures that built them. From the towering monoliths of Stonehenge to the intricately carved stones of Senegal's Sine and Gain, each circle tells a story of the people who created it. These structures are not just relics of the past, they are windows into the beliefs, knowledge, and ingenuity of ancient civilizations. As we marvel at their diversity and precision, one thing becomes clear: stone circles are more than just stones. They are testaments to humanity's enduring desire to understand the cosmos and our place within it. But how did these ancient builders achieve such remarkable accuracy in their designs? What secrets of the stars did they uncover? These questions lead us to the next chapter of our exploration, the astronomical mysteries hidden within these ancient circles. One of the most striking features of stone circles is their uncanny alignment with celestial events. These ancient builders didn't just place stones at random. They positioned them with a precision that still astounds us today. Take Stonehenge, for instance. Every year on the summer solstice, the sun rises directly over the heel stone, casting its first light into the heart of the circle. This isn't a coincidence, it's a deliberate design, one that required an intimate understanding of the sun's movements across the sky. But Stonehenge is just one example. Across the globe, other stone circles exhibit similar alignments. In Scotland, the Callanish stones are arranged to mark the lunar standstill, a rare event where the moon appears to pause in its journey across the sky before reversing direction. In West Africa, the Senegambian stone circles are thought to align with the rising and setting of specific stars, possibly serving as both astronomical tools and spiritual landmarks. These alignments suggest that our ancestors weren't just observing the heavens, they were mapping them. Achieving this level of precision wasn't simple. It required not only a deep knowledge of astronomy, but also advanced engineering and mathematical skills. Imagine the challenge of moving massive stones, some weighing several tons, across rough terrain, and then positioning them with such accuracy. The builders had to account for the Earth's tilt, the changing angles of the sun and moon, and even the subtle shifts in the stars over centuries. How did they do it? Some theories suggest they used simple tools like ropes and wooden sledges, combined with meticulous observation and trial and error. Others propose that they may have had access to knowledge or techniques that we've yet to fully understand. What's truly fascinating is that these alignments go beyond mere practicality. While they certainly helped ancient peoples track the seasons crucial for agriculture and survival, they also seem to carry a deeper, almost spiritual significance. The solstices and equinoxes weren't just markers of time. They were moments of cosmic connection when the heavens and earth seemed to align in harmony. This duality, practical and profound, raises an intriguing question. Were these stone circles not just calendars or maps, but also gateways to understanding humanity's place in the universe? As we marvel at the ingenuity of these ancient builders, it's hard not to wonder what else they knew. Did their understanding of the cosmos go beyond what we've discovered so far? Could these alignments hint at a lost wisdom, a way of seeing the world that we've only begun to glimpse? The answers may lie in the stones themselves, waiting for us to unlock their secrets. And as we explore further, we'll uncover how these cosmic connections might reveal even more about the mysteries of our ancestors. The idea that stone circles served as ancient calendars is one of the most compelling theories about their purpose. For early societies, understanding the passage of time wasn't just a matter of curiosity, it was a matter of survival. Predicting seasonal changes meant knowing when to plant crops, when to harvest, and when to prepare for the harshness of winter. In a world without written records or modern technology, these massive stone structures may have been their most reliable tools for tracking the rhythms of nature. Take the Callanish stones in Scotland, for example. This sprawling arrangement of standing stones, some towering over 12 feet tall, is thought to align with the movements of the moon. On certain nights, the moon appears to skim low along the horizon, perfectly framed by the stones. This phenomenon, known as the Lunar Standstill, occurs only once every 18.6 years, a cycle that the builders of Callanish seem to have understood and marked with incredible precision. Such alignments suggest that these circles weren't just artistic or ceremonial. They were functional, serving as a kind of prehistoric almanac. But how did these ancient societies develop such sophisticated methods of timekeeping? Without telescopes or written records, they relied on careful observation and generations of accumulated knowledge. Imagine a community gathering around these stones, watching the sky night after night, season after season, and passing down their findings through oral tradition. Over time, they would have noticed patterns, the sun's position shifting slightly each day, the moon's path changing over the years. These observations became the foundation of their calendar systems, allowing them to predict key events like solstices, equinoxes, and even eclipses. The cultural implications of this knowledge are profound. For ancient societies, timekeeping wasn't just practical, it was deeply intertwined with their worldview. Marking the passage of time connected them to the natural world and the cosmos, reinforcing a sense of order and purpose. In many cultures, the solstices and equinoxes were celebrated as sacred moments when the boundaries between the earthly and the divine seemed to blur. Stone circles, with their celestial alignments, may have served as both practical tools and spiritual symbols, bridging the gap between the mundane and the mystical. Yet this raises an intriguing question. Were these structures purely utilitarian, or did they also hold deeper symbolic meanings? Could the act of marking time have been a way for these societies to connect with something greater than themselves, perhaps the gods, the cosmos, or the very essence of life? As we explore the spiritual dimensions of stone circles, we'll uncover how these ancient calendars might have served dual roles, intertwining the practical with the profound. And in doing so, we'll come closer to understanding the true significance of these timeless monuments. While the calendar theory offers a compelling explanation for stone circles, another fascinating hypothesis suggests these structures were more than just timekeepers. They were cosmic maps designed to mirror the heavens on Earth. Imagine standing within a stone circle, surrounded by towering monoliths that seem to reach for the sky. Could these stones represent more than just markers of time? Could they be symbols of stars, planets, or even entire constellations, carefully arranged to reflect the patterns of the night sky above? This idea of stone circles as cosmic maps is supported by their precise alignments with celestial bodies. For instance, some researchers believe that the Avebury stone circle in England mirrors the constellation Orion, with its stones positioned to match the stars' arrangement. Similarly, the Senegambian stone circles in West Africa are thought to align with specific stars, possibly serving as both navigational tools and spiritual landmarks. These alignments suggest that ancient builders weren't just observing the heavens, they were translating their observations into physical forms, creating a tangible connection between the Earth and the cosmos. But why would ancient societies go to such lengths to create these cosmic maps? One possibility is that they served as tools for navigation. In an era before compasses or GPS, the stars were essential guides for travelers. A stone circle that mirrored the night sky could have functioned as a kind of celestial compass, helping people find their way across vast and unfamiliar landscapes. Another theory is that these maps were used for spiritual journeys. The alignment of stones with celestial bodies might have been seen as a way to connect with the divine, allowing individuals to embark on metaphorical voyages through the heavens. The symbolic significance of circles in ancient cultures adds another layer of meaning to this hypothesis. For many societies, the circle represented unity, eternity, and the cyclical nature of life. By arranging stones in a circular pattern, ancient builders may have been expressing their understanding of the universe as an interconnected, ever-turning whole. This symbolism would have resonated deeply, blending the practical with the profound. Creating such intricate cosmic maps would have required not only a deep understanding of astronomy, but also advanced tools and techniques. How did these ancient societies achieve such precision? Some researchers suggest they used simple instruments like plumb bobs and sighting rods, combined with meticulous observation of the stars. Others propose that they may have relied on oral traditions, passing down knowledge of celestial patterns from generation to generation. Whatever the methods, the result is a testament to their ingenuity and determination to map the heavens. As we ponder the possibility of stone circles as cosmic maps, it's hard not to marvel at the depth of their creators' vision. These structures were more than just practical tools. They were expressions of a worldview that saw the earth and sky as deeply intertwined. They remind us that, long before modern technology, humanity was already seeking to understand and navigate the vast mysteries of the universe. And as we continue to explore these ancient monuments, we may yet uncover more secrets about how our ancestors saw themselves within the cosmos. The construction of stone circles wasn't just a feat of engineering, it was a testament to the advanced astronomical knowledge of ancient civilizations. These builders didn't have telescopes or satellites, yet they managed to observe and record celestial patterns with astonishing accuracy. How did they do it? The answer lies in their deep connection to the natural world and their ability to interpret the skies in ways that still leave us in awe today. At the heart of this knowledge were individuals who served as the bridge between the heavens and earth: shamans, priests, or early astronomers. These figures were more than just spiritual leaders, they were the scientists of their time. Through careful observation, they tracked the movements of the sun, moon, and stars, noting how these celestial bodies influenced the seasons, tides, and even human life. This understanding wasn't just theoretical, it was applied in the very design of stone circles. Take, for example, the Nebra sky disk, a remarkable artifact discovered in Germany dating back to around 1600 BC. This bronze disk, inlaid with gold symbols, is one of the oldest known depictions of the cosmos. It shows the sun, moon, and stars, along with arcs that may represent solstices and equinoxes. While the disk itself wasn't found near a stone circle, its existence suggests that ancient peoples had sophisticated methods of recording celestial events. Could similar tools have been used to guide the placement of stones in these ancient monuments? The process of aligning stone circles with astronomical events would have required more than just casual observation. It likely involved a combination of tools and techniques, such as sighting rods to mark the positions of stars or water-filled pits to reflect the night sky. These early astronomers would have spent years, perhaps even lifetimes, tracking the heavens, noting subtle changes, and passing this knowledge down through oral traditions or symbolic representations. The result was a body of wisdom so precise that it could predict celestial events with remarkable accuracy. But why go to such lengths? For ancient societies, the heavens weren't just a source of practical information. They were a realm of profound spiritual significance. The movement of celestial bodies was often seen as a reflection of divine will, and those who could interpret these patterns held immense power and respect. By constructing stone circles that mirrored the cosmos, these societies may have been seeking to align themselves with the rhythms of the universe, creating a tangible link between the earthly and the divine. This raises an intriguing question. How was this astronomical knowledge preserved and passed down through generations? In a world without writing, oral traditions and symbolic artifacts like the Nebra sky disk would have played a crucial role. Stories, songs, and rituals would have carried this wisdom forward, ensuring that each new generation could continue to read the stars and honor the sacred connections they represented. As we reflect on the role of ancient astronomy in the construction of stone circles, it's impossible not to marvel at the ingenuity and dedication of these early stargazers. They remind us that long before the age of modern science, humanity was already reaching for the stars, seeking to understand the mysteries of the cosmos and our place within it. And as we continue to explore these ancient monuments, we may yet uncover more clues about how they achieved such remarkable feats and what secrets of the universe they might still be waiting to reveal. Stone circles were far more than just practical tools or astronomical marvels. They were the heartbeats of ancient communities, sacred spaces where the spiritual and the earthly intertwined. Picture a gathering of people, their faces illuminated by the flickering light of a bonfire, standing within the embrace of towering stones that seemed to touch the heavens. These circles were not just physical structures, they were places of profound significance where rituals, ceremonies, and communal bonds were forged. In many ancient cultures, stone circles were seen as gateways to the divine. The circular shape itself held deep symbolic meaning. Across the world, the circle has long been associated with unity, eternity, and the cyclical nature of life, birth, death, and rebirth. When ancient builders arranged stones in this shape, they were not just creating a monument, they were crafting a microcosm of the universe, a space where the rhythms of the cosmos could be felt and honored. The stones within these circles often carried their own symbolism. In some traditions, they were believed to embody spirits or ancestors, acting as conduits for communication between the living and the divine. In others, the stones represented the elements earth, water, fire, and air, bringing balance and harmony to the sacred space. The alignments with celestial events added another layer of meaning, turning these circles into cosmic calendars that marked not just the passage of time, but also the sacred moments when the heavens seemed to align with the earth. Rituals performed within these circles were deeply tied to the natural world. Solstices and equinoxes, for example, were not just astronomical events, they were spiritual milestones. Imagine the summer solstice when the sun rose perfectly between two stones, flooding the circle with golden light. This moment would have been celebrated with music, dance, and offerings, a way of thanking the gods for the warmth and abundance of the season. Similarly, the winter solstice might have been a time for reflection and renewal as the community gathered to honor the return of the light. But stone circles were not just places of solemn ceremony, they were also spaces of connection and community. These gatherings would have strengthened social bonds, bringing people together to share stories, traditions, and knowledge. In a world without written records, these circles served as living libraries where the wisdom of the ancestors was passed down through generations. The spiritual significance of stone circles is echoed in the mythologies of many cultures. In Celtic traditions, for instance, the stones were often associated with the otherworld, a realm of gods and spirits. In African and Native American traditions, circles were seen as sacred spaces where the boundaries between the physical and spiritual worlds grew thin. These beliefs suggest that stone circles were not just tools for understanding the cosmos, they were expressions of a deeper, more profound connection to the universe. As we reflect on the cultural and spiritual importance of these ancient monuments, it's clear that they were more than just functional structures. They were expressions of a worldview that saw no separation between the earthly and the divine, the practical and the sacred. Stone circles remind us that for our ancestors, the cosmos was not something distant and unknowable. It was a living, breathing presence woven into the very fabric of their lives. This deeper understanding of stone circles raises an intriguing possibility. Could these structures have been more than just physical monuments? Could they have been expressions of a cosmic philosophy, a way of seeing the world that united the practical with the profound? As we continue our journey, we'll explore how this philosophy might have shaped not just the construction of stone circles, but the very essence of the societies that built them. The construction of stone circles wasn't just an act of spirituality or astronomy. It was a monumental feat of engineering that still baffles us today. Picture this: massive stones, some weighing as much as 25 tons, being moved across miles of rugged terrain, then lifted and positioned with near-perfect precision. Without cranes, trucks, or even iron tools, how did ancient societies achieve what we'd consider a near-impossible task even with modern technology? The challenges they faced were immense. Transporting these colossal stones would have required not only physical strength but also ingenuity and collaboration. One popular theory suggests that wooden sledges and rollers were used to move the stones across the ground. Imagine teams of people pulling these massive rocks inch by inch over logs laid out as a makeshift track. Others propose that the stones were dragged on rafts across rivers or hauled up inclined ramps. Whatever the method, it was a laborious process demanding careful planning and coordination. But moving the stones was only half the battle. Erecting them into their final positions was another hurdle altogether. Some researchers believe that ancient builders used leverage, propping the stones up with wooden beams and gradually raising them into place. Others suggest that they might have dug pits, tilted the stones into position, and then filled the holes to secure them. The precision required for these tasks is staggering, especially when you consider that many of these stones were aligned with celestial events down to fractions of a degree. The sheer scale of these projects points to a highly organized and motivated society. Building a stone circle wasn't the work of a few individuals. It was a communal effort involving hundreds, if not thousands, of people. This level of collaboration speaks volumes about the values of these ancient cultures. They were willing to invest immense time, energy, and resources into creating something that would outlast them, something that would serve their community for generations. What drove them to undertake such monumental efforts? Some scholars argue that the purpose was purely practical. These circles were tools for survival, helping communities track the seasons and plan their agricultural cycles. Others believe that the motivation was spiritual, rooted in a desire to connect with the divine or honor the ancestors. Perhaps it was a combination of both. What's clear is that these structures were more than just physical monuments. They were expressions of a society's deepest values and aspirations. As we marvel at the engineering prowess of these ancient builders, it's impossible not to wonder, what could a society achieve today if it channeled the same level of dedication and unity into a shared vision? Stone circles remind us that, even thousands of years ago, humanity was capable of extraordinary feats when driven by purpose and collaboration. And as we continue to explore the mysteries of these ancient monuments, we may find that their greatest legacy isn't just in the stones themselves, but in the lessons they offer about what it means to work together toward something greater than ourselves. The mysteries of stone circles extend beyond their celestial alignments and cultural significance. Some believe they are tied to something even more intangible, the Earth itself. Enter the concept of ley lines, a fascinating idea that suggests these ancient monuments are part of a vast, invisible network of energy pathways crisscrossing the globe. These hypothetical lines are said to connect significant landmarks, from stone circles and burial mounds to churches and natural formations. Could it be that our ancestors chose the locations of these circles not just for their celestial views, but because they sat atop these powerful energetic channels? The idea of ley lines was first popularized in the early 20th century by an amateur archaeologist named Alfred Watkins. He proposed that ancient peoples built their sacred sites along straight lines that followed natural features like ridges, rivers, and valleys. These lines, he argued, weren't just practical routes for travel, they were spiritual highways, conduits of Earth's energy. Stone circles, with their precise alignments and sacred significance, are often found along these ley lines, leading some to speculate that they were intentionally placed to harness or amplify these energies. But what exactly are these energies? Some theories suggest they are geomagnetic forces, natural currents generated by the Earth's magnetic field. Others describe them as more mystical, life-giving forces that ancient cultures believed flowed through the land. Proponents of this idea argue that stone circles positioned at key points along these lines acted as spiritual or energetic hubs. Imagine standing within a circle, feeling a subtle hum or vibration beneath your feet, as if the Earth itself were alive with power. For those who believe in ley lines, these circles were more than just monuments, they were portals to a deeper connection with the planet. This theory raises an intriguing question. Did ancient builders choose these locations because they sensed something special about them? Some researchers suggest that early societies had a heightened awareness of their environment, able to detect subtle changes in the Earth's energy. They might have used dowsing rods or other simple tools to locate these powerful spots, or perhaps they relied on intuition and spiritual guidance. Whatever the method, the result was a network of sacred sites that seemed to pulse with life, drawing people together for ceremonies, healing, or communion with the divine. Modern science, however, remains skeptical. While the Earth does have natural magnetic fields and energy currents, there's little evidence to support the idea that ley lines or stone circles channel these forces in any measurable way. Critics argue that the alignment of ancient sites along straight lines is often coincidental, shaped more by geography and practicality than by any mystical design. Yet, even if the scientific community doesn't fully embrace the ley line theory, it's hard to dismiss the allure of the idea. For many, the notion that stone circles are connected by invisible threads of energy adds another layer of wonder to these ancient monuments. Whether ley lines are real or imagined, they remind us of something profound. The deep connection our ancestors felt to the land. To them, the earth wasn't just a resource, it was a living, breathing entity filled with energy and spirit. Stone circles, with their precise placements and celestial alignments, may have been their way of honoring this connection, creating spaces where the physical and the spiritual could merge. As we consider the possibility of ley lines and earth energies, it's impossible not to marvel at the depth of our ancestors' vision. These circles were more than just stones, they were expressions of a worldview that saw the earth and sky as deeply intertwined, a reflection of a universe filled with mystery and meaning. And as we continue to explore these ancient sites, we may yet uncover more about how they perceived the world around them, and what secrets they believed lay hidden beneath their feet. Throughout history, stone circles have been shrouded in myth and legend, their origins often attributed to beings and forces beyond the ordinary. Tales of giants, gods, and heroes have been woven around these enigmatic structures, transforming them from mere monuments into symbols of the extraordinary. But could these myths be more than just stories? Could they hold the key to understanding the true purpose of stone circles? One of the most enduring legends comes from Britain, where Stonehenge is said to have been built by the wizard Merlin, who magically transported the massive stones from Ireland. While this story is clearly fantastical, it reflects a deeper truth, the awe and reverence these structures inspired. Similarly, in Scandinavia, the stones of the Ale stones are said to mark the grave of a legendary king, a narrative that ties the circle to themes of power and memory. These myths, though steeped in imagination, often encode real astronomical or cultural knowledge passed down through generations. Consider the tale of the Callanish stones in Scotland, where local folklore speaks of a giant petrified by the sun for refusing to convert to Christianity. While the story is symbolic, it hints at the stone's alignment with celestial events, the sun's power literally turning the giant to stone. Such narratives might have served as mnemonic devices, helping communities remember important astronomical phenomena or seasonal changes. In this way, myths could have acted as oral blueprints, guiding the construction and use of stone circles long after their original purpose was forgotten. The interplay between myth and reality is particularly fascinating when we look at how these stories often mirror the physical characteristics of the circles themselves. For instance, many myths describe the stones as living beings, giants, heroes, or even gods frozen in time. This anthropomorphism could reflect an ancient understanding of the stones as more than just rocks. They were seen as active participants in the world, bridging the gap between the human and the divine. But why were these stories so important? In societies without written records, myths served as a way to preserve and transmit knowledge. They were not just entertainment, they were a form of cultural memory, encoding lessons about the natural world, the cosmos, and humanity's place within it. By embedding astronomical or practical knowledge within these tales, ancient peoples ensured that their descendants would remember and honor the wisdom of their ancestors. This raises an intriguing question. Could the myths surrounding stone circles be more than just stories? Could they be clues to their true purpose, offering insights into how these structures were used or what they meant to the people who built them? As we delve deeper into these legends, we begin to see them not as mere fanciful tales, but as a rich tapestry of knowledge woven together by generations of storytellers. The next time you hear a myth about a stone circle, try to look beyond the surface. What truths might it hold? What secrets of the past could it reveal? These stories remind us that for our ancestors, the line between myth and reality was often blurred, and that sometimes the most extraordinary truths are hidden within the simplest tales. As we continue to explore the mysteries of stone circles, we'll uncover how these ancient narratives might help us piece together the puzzle of their purpose, and perhaps in doing so, learn something profound about the people who told them. Among the towering stones of these ancient circles, another layer of mystery unfolds, the rituals and ceremonies that once brought these spaces to life. These weren't just monuments to the heavens, they were stages for human connection, places where communities gathered to celebrate, mourn, and mark the milestones of life. From solstice festivals to rites of passage, stone circles served as the backdrop for some of the most significant moments in the lives of their builders. Imagine the scene, a community gathering at dawn on the summer solstice, the air thick with anticipation as the first rays of sunlight pierced the horizon, perfectly aligned with the stones. This wasn't just a celebration of the sun's return. It was a moment of unity, a reminder of the cycles that bound them to the land and to one another. Rituals like these weren't just about marking time, they were about reinforcing the bonds that held society together. Archaeological evidence provides tantalizing clues about these ancient ceremonies. At sites like Avebury and the Ring of Brodgar, researchers have uncovered fragments of pottery, animal bones, and tools, all suggesting that these spaces were used for communal feasts and offerings. These artifacts hint at shared meals, perhaps accompanied by music, dance, and storytelling. Such gatherings would have strengthened social ties, creating a sense of belonging and shared identity. But not all rituals were joyous. Some stone circles may have been sites of solemn rites of passage, marking moments of transformation, birth, adulthood, marriage, or death. In cultures where the cycle of life was deeply intertwined with the rhythms of nature, these ceremonies would have been profoundly meaningful. Picture a young person standing within the circle, surrounded by their community as they transition into adulthood. The stones themselves, enduring and timeless, would have symbolized the continuity of life, linking the past, present, and future. The connection to celestial events adds another layer of depth to these rituals. Many of the ceremonies likely coincided with key astronomical moments, solstices, equinoxes, or lunar phases. These alignments would have imbued the rituals with a sense of cosmic significance, creating a bridge between the earthly and the divine. For example, a winter solstice ceremony might have been a time to honor the ancestors, seeking their guidance as the community prepared for the challenges of the cold months ahead. What's striking is how these rituals served dual purposes. On one hand, they were deeply spiritual, connecting people to the rhythms of the cosmos and the mysteries of existence. On the other, they were profoundly practical, reinforcing social cohesion and ensuring the survival of the community. This blend of the sacred and the everyday reflects a worldview that saw no separation between the spiritual and the material, a perspective that resonates even today. As we piece together the evidence from these ancient sites, we begin to see stone circles not just as static monuments, but as living spaces filled with the energy of human experience. They remind us that for our ancestors, the cosmos wasn't just something to observe, it was something to celebrate, to honor, and to live in harmony with. And as we consider the role of these rituals in ancient societies, we might also reflect on their relevance today. In a world that often feels disconnected, these circles offer a powerful reminder of the importance of coming together, of marking the moments that matter, and of finding meaning in the cycles of life. Could it be that these ancient ceremonies hold lessons for us even now about the value of community, connection, and the enduring power of shared experience? The allure of stone circles isn't confined to the distant past. It continues to resonate powerfully in our modern world. these ancient monuments have transcended their original purposes, becoming symbols of mystery and wonder that captivate the imagination of writers, artists, and spiritual seekers alike. From the pages of fantasy novels to the canvases of contemporary art, stone circles have left an indelible mark on our cultural landscape. In literature, they often serve as gateways to other worlds or repositories of ancient wisdom. Think of how J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth features standing stones imbued with magical significance, or how Diana Gabaldon's Outlander series uses stone circles as portals through time. These stories tap into a universal fascination with the unknown, drawing on the mystique of stone circles to evoke a sense of awe and possibility. Artists, too, have long been inspired by these enigmatic structures. Painters like Paul Nash and photographers like Faye Godwin have captured the haunting beauty of stone circles, emphasizing their timeless quality and connection to the natural world. Their works invite us to see these monuments not just as relics of the past, but as living landscapes that continue to inspire creativity and reflection. In the realm of spirituality, stone circles have found new life in modern movements like neo-paganism and New Age beliefs. For many, these ancient sites are sacred spaces where the boundaries between the physical and spiritual worlds blur. Rituals, meditations, and seasonal celebrations often take place within or near stone circles, echoing the practices of our ancestors. The summer solstice at Stonehenge, for example, draws thousands of visitors each year, many of whom come to honor the sun's journey and reconnect with a sense of cosmic harmony. This enduring spiritual connection has also made stone circles a focal point for tourism and heritage preservation. Visitors from around the world flock to sites like Avebury, Callanish, and the Senegambian circles, drawn by the chance to stand in the footsteps of ancient builders. Local communities and organizations work tirelessly to protect these sites, ensuring they remain accessible for future generations. This effort not only preserves the stones themselves, but also fosters a deeper appreciation for the cultures that created them. But why do these ancient structures continue to captivate us? Perhaps it's their timelessness, their ability to bridge the gap between the distant past and the present. Or maybe it's the sense of connection they offer to the earth, to the cosmos, and to the generations of people who came before us. Stone circles remind us that despite the passage of millennia, some questions remain universal. Who are we, where do we come from, and what lies beyond the horizon? As we stand in the shadow of these ancient stones, we're reminded that their story isn't just about the past, it's about us too. They invite us to reflect on our place in the world, to marvel at the ingenuity of our ancestors, and to consider the legacy we'll leave behind. And in doing so, they continue to inspire, challenge, and connect us, proving that their magic is as alive today as it was thousands of years ago. While the allure of stone circles has captivated countless generations, their true purpose remains a subject of lively debate among archaeologists and historians. Some experts argue that these structures served as practical tools, calendars to track the seasons, or observatories to map the stars. Others see them as deeply symbolic, embodying a cosmic worldview that connected the earth to the heavens. The challenge lies in interpreting these ancient monuments when their builders left no written records to guide us. Without texts or inscriptions, we're left to piece together their meaning from the stones themselves and the stories they silently hold. One of the most widely accepted theories is that stone circles functioned as calendars. Their precise alignments with solstices, equinoxes, and lunar cycles suggest a sophisticated understanding of timekeeping. For instance, the alignment of Stonehenge with the summer solstice sunrise is no accident. It points to a society deeply attuned to the rhythms of nature, using these structures to mark the passage of time for agricultural, ceremonial, or even navigational purposes. This practical interpretation has gained traction, especially as evidence mounts that many stone circles were built during periods when seasonal predictability was crucial for survival. Yet, not all scholars are convinced that practicality was the sole driving force. Some argue that stone circles were primarily symbolic, serving as cosmic maps or spiritual gateways. The arrangement of stones might have mirrored constellations, creating a physical representation of the heavens on Earth. This theory suggests that these circles were less about tracking time and more about connecting with the divine. The idea resonates with the spiritual significance many ancient cultures placed on the cosmos, viewing celestial events as moments of divine intervention or cosmic harmony. Adding to the complexity is the lack of written records from the societies that built these circles. Without texts or inscriptions, archaeologists must rely on physical evidence, such as the placement of stones, artifacts found nearby, and comparisons with other ancient sites. This has led to a range of interpretations, each supported by different lines of evidence. For example, the discovery of pottery shards and animal bones at sites like Overbury suggests these circles were places of communal gathering and ritual. Meanwhile, the precise astronomical alignments at Callanish hint at a deeper, more scientific purpose. Fortunately, modern technology is helping to fill in some of these gaps. Tools like LiDAR and ground-penetrating radar are revolutionizing our understanding of stone circles. LiDAR, which uses laser pulses to map the Earth's surface, has revealed hidden features beneath the ground, such as buried stones or ancient pathways. Ground-penetrating radar has uncovered subterranean structures, offering clues about how these sites were used. These technologies are not only shedding light on individual stone circles, but also revealing patterns and connections between sites that were previously invisible. As we continue to explore these ancient monuments, one thing is clear: the debate over their purpose is far from settled. Each new discovery adds another layer to the mystery, challenging our assumptions and inviting us to reconsider what we thought we knew. What might future technologies reveal about these enigmatic structures? Could they uncover evidence of astronomical knowledge we've yet to imagine? Or might they reveal entirely new purposes that reshape our understanding of the past? The beauty of stone circles lies in their ability to spark curiosity and inspire wonder. They remind us that history is not a static story but an ongoing conversation, one that evolves with every new discovery. And as we continue to probe their secrets, we're reminded that the past is not just something to study, it's something to experience, to question, and to marvel at. So, what will the next chapter in this ancient story reveal? Only time, and perhaps a few more groundbreaking discoveries, will tell. The precise arrangement of stones within these ancient circles isn't just a testament to their builders' astronomical knowledge, it also reveals a profound understanding of mathematics. Geometry, symmetry, and proportion were not just abstract concepts for these early societies. They were tools used to create structures that harmonized with both the earth and the heavens. The careful placement of each stone, the perfect circles and ellipses, and the precise alignments with celestial events all point to a level of mathematical sophistication that challenges our assumptions about ancient civilizations. Take, for example, the geometry of Stonehenge. The outer ring of sarsen stones forms a near-perfect circle, with each stone spaced at equal intervals. This isn't accidental, it reflects a deliberate application of geometric principles. The builders also incorporated symmetry, with the inner horseshoe of trilithons mirroring the shape of the outer circle. Such precision suggests that these ancient architects were not only skilled in construction, but also deeply knowledgeable about mathematical concepts like pi and the properties of circles. But geometry wasn't just a practical tool, it may have held deeper symbolic meaning. For many ancient cultures, the circle represented unity, eternity, and the cyclical nature of life. By using geometric principles to create perfect circles, these builders might have been expressing a cosmic worldview, one that saw the universe as an interconnected, harmonious whole. The symmetry of these structures could have been a way of reflecting the balance and order they perceived in the cosmos. The alignment of stones with celestial events adds another layer of mathematical complexity. To achieve the precision needed to mark solstices, equinoxes, or lunar standstills, the builders would have had to calculate angles, distances, and positions with remarkable accuracy. Imagine the challenge of aligning massive stones so that the sun rises exactly between two of them on a specific day of the year. This level of precision suggests not only a deep understanding of astronomy, but also advanced mathematical techniques for measurement and calculation. Some researchers have even proposed that these mathematical principles encoded spiritual or cosmic truths. The proportions of certain stone circles, for instance, might correspond to sacred ratios found in nature, such as the golden ratio. These ratios, which appear in everything from the spiral of a seashell to the branching of a tree, were believed by many ancient cultures to reflect the fundamental order of the universe. By incorporating them into their designs, the builders of stone circles may have been creating physical representations of these universal truths. This raises an intriguing question. How did ancient societies develop such advanced mathematical knowledge? Some theories suggest they inherited it from an even older, lost civilization, one that had mastered the principles of geometry and astronomy long before recorded history. Others argue that this knowledge emerged gradually through generations of observation, experimentation, and shared wisdom. Whatever the case, the mathematical sophistication of stone circles is a reminder that these ancient builders were far more advanced than we often give them credit for. As we marvel at the precision and beauty of these structures, it's impossible not to wonder what else they might have known. Could their mathematical knowledge have extended beyond what we've discovered so far? And if so, what might that tell us about the origins of human understanding? The answers may lie hidden in the stones themselves, waiting for us to unlock their secrets. What's certain is that these ancient monuments are more than just feats of engineering. They are masterpieces of mathematics, blending practicality with profound symbolism. They remind us that, long before the age of calculators and computers, humanity was already exploring the mysteries of numbers, shapes, and the cosmos. And as we continue to study these circles, we may yet uncover more about the minds that created them and the universe they sought to understand. Stone circles may stand as unique monuments, but they are far from alone in humanity's quest to measure and understand time. Across the globe, ancient cultures developed their own sophisticated systems to track the passage of days, seasons, and years, each reflecting a shared fascination with the rhythms of the cosmos. From the intricate Mayan long count to the precision of the Egyptian solar calendar, these ancient timekeeping systems reveal a universal drive to make sense of the world through the lens of time. The Mayan long count, for example, is a marvel of mathematical and astronomical ingenuity. This calendar system, used by the Maya civilization of Mesoamerica, was designed to track vast spans of time far beyond the cycles of the sun and moon. Unlike stone circles, which relied on physical alignments with celestial events, the Mayan long count was based on a complex numerical system. It counted days in cycles of 13 and 20, creating a framework that could measure epochs of over 5,000 years. Yet, despite its abstract nature, the long count shared a key similarity with stone circles. It was deeply tied to the cosmos. The Maya believed that time was cyclical, and their calendar reflected this worldview, marking the end and beginning of eras with great ceremony. In contrast, the ancient Egyptians developed a solar calendar that was remarkably practical. Their year was divided into 12 months of 30 days each, with 5 extra days added to align with the solar cycle. This calendar, tied to the annual flooding of the Nile, was essential for agriculture and governance. While stone circles often served as both practical tools and spiritual symbols, the Egyptian calendar was primarily utilitarian, a way to organize society and ensure the prosperity of the kingdom. Yet, even here, there was a connection to the divine. The Egyptians saw the sun god Ra as the ruler of time, and their calendar reflected this sacred relationship. What's striking is how these different systems, stone circles, the Mayan long count, and the Egyptian solar calendar, all reflect a universal human impulse to understand and master time. Whether through the physical alignment of stones or the abstract calculations of numbers, ancient peoples sought to bring order to the chaos of existence. They recognized that time was not just a practical concern but a profound mystery, one that connected them to the cosmos and to the divine. This raises an intriguing question. Could these ancient calendars, despite their differences, be part of a larger, interconnected network of knowledge? Some researchers have proposed that the similarities between these systems point to a shared origin, or, at the very least, a common thread of wisdom passed down through generations. The idea of a global network of knowledge is tantalizing, suggesting that ancient peoples were far more connected than we often assume. While there's no definitive evidence to prove this theory, the parallels between these calendars are impossible to ignore. From the towering stones of Europe to the pyramids of Egypt and the temples of Mesoamerica, these ancient timekeeping systems remind us of a fundamental truth. Humanity's quest to understand time is as old as civilization itself. They show us that, no matter where or when we live, we are all bound by the same cycles of the sun, moon, and stars. And as we continue to explore these ancient monuments, we may yet uncover more about how our ancestors saw themselves within the vast tapestry of time and what they believed lay beyond it. The next time you look at a calendar, whether digital or paper, take a moment to reflect on its ancient origins. It's not just a tool for scheduling, it's a link to a timeless human story, one that spans continents, cultures, and millennia. And perhaps in that reflection, you'll feel a deeper connection to the generations of people who came before us, all seeking to make sense of the same eternal questions. The alignment of stone circles with celestial events goes far beyond mere practicality. It hints at a deeper, more profound purpose. These ancient structures may have served as spiritual gateways, connecting the earth to the heavens in ways that transcended the physical world. For the people who built them, the cosmos wasn't just a clock or a map. It was a realm of the divine, filled with gods, spirits, and forces that shaped their lives. The stones, positioned to capture the sun's rays or frame the moon's path, might have been seen as bridges between the mortal and the eternal. Imagine standing within a stone circle during a solstice or equinox, when the sun or moon aligns perfectly with the stones. For ancient peoples, this moment would have been more than an astronomical event. It was a sacred encounter. The light piercing through the stones might have been viewed as a divine presence, a message from the gods, or a moment of cosmic harmony. These alignments weren't just markers of time. They were opportunities for communion with the sacred, moments when the veil between worlds grew thin. This spiritual dimension is echoed in the religious practices of many ancient cultures. In Egypt, for example, temples were often aligned with the rising or setting of certain stars, believed to be the homes of gods. In Mesoamerica, pyramids like those at Chichen Itza were designed to cast shadows resembling serpents during equinoxes, symbolizing the descent of the feathered serpent god Kukulkan. Stone circles, with their celestial alignments, likely served a similar purpose. They were places where the divine could be invoked, where rituals and ceremonies could draw upon the power of the heavens. The role of astronomy in ancient spirituality was more than symbolic, it was deeply practical. Celestial events marked not only the passage of time, but also the rhythms of religious life. Solstices and equinoxes were often celebrated with festivals, offerings, and rituals designed to honor the gods and ensure their favor. The alignment of stone circles with these events would have made them ideal settings for such ceremonies, turning them into sacred theaters where the drama of the cosmos played out. But could these alignments have served an even greater purpose? Some researchers suggest that stone circles were not just places to honor the gods, but also to communicate with them. The precise positioning of the stones might have been intended to channel celestial energies, creating a direct link between the earth and the heavens. Others propose that these structures were designed to guide the souls of the dead, helping them navigate the afterlife. The alignment of stones with stars or the rising sun could have symbolized a journey to the divine, a path for the soul to follow into eternity. This duality, practical and spiritual, highlights the complexity of stone circles. They were not just tools or temples, they were expressions of a worldview that saw no separation between the physical and the sacred. For our ancestors, the cosmos was alive with meaning, and stone circles were their way of engaging with that cosmic order. As we consider the spiritual significance of these alignments, it's impossible not to marvel at the depth of their creator's vision. These circles were more than monuments. They were portals to the divine, places where humanity could touch the infinite. And as we continue to explore their mysteries, we may yet uncover more about how they shaped the spiritual lives of ancient peoples and what they might still teach us about our own place in the universe. While the towering stones of these ancient circles often evoke images of strength and endurance, there's another, often overlooked aspect to their story: the role of women. In many ancient societies, women weren't just passive observers, they were active participants, shaping the spiritual, cultural, and even physical landscape of their communities. Could women have played a significant role in the construction, use, and purpose of stone circles? The evidence, though fragmentary, suggests a fascinating possibility. One of the most compelling theories links stone circles to fertility rituals and goddess worship. Across many ancient cultures, the circle itself was a symbol of life, unity, and the cyclical nature of existence, qualities often associated with the feminine. Some researchers propose that stone circles were spaces where women held sacred ceremonies, perhaps to honor fertility goddesses or to mark rites of passage like childbirth or coming of age. The alignment of these circles with celestial events such as the solstices or lunar cycles might have been seen as a reflection of the rhythms of life, further emphasizing their connection to feminine energies. Archaeological discoveries lend support to this idea. At sites like Avebury and the Orkney Islands, figurines and artifacts depicting female forms have been unearthed. These objects, often interpreted as representations of goddesses or fertility symbols, suggest that women may have held positions of spiritual authority. In some cases, these figurines were found near or within stone circles, hinting at their use in rituals or ceremonies. Could these circles have been spaces where women gathered to honor the divine feminine, drawing on the power of the earth and the heavens to bless their communities? The idea of a matriarchal influence in these societies challenges traditional narratives that often emphasize male-dominated roles. While it's difficult to reconstruct the social structures of prehistoric cultures with certainty, some scholars argue that women in these societies may have held significant power both spiritually and socially. The construction of stone circles, with their emphasis on harmony and balance, might reflect a worldview that valued collaboration and inclusivity, qualities often associated with matriarchal systems. This raises an intriguing question. How might the roles of women in these societies have shaped their understanding of the world? If women were central to the creation and use of stone circles, their influence would have extended beyond the stones themselves. They might have been the keepers of astronomical knowledge, the architects of rituals, and the storytellers who passed down the wisdom of the ancestors. In a world where the divine was often seen as feminine, their leadership could have been a guiding force, shaping not just the physical landscape, but also the spiritual and cultural identity of their people. As we reflect on the role of women in stone circle societies, it's impossible not to see these ancient monuments in a new light. They weren't just feats of engineering or astronomical tools. They were spaces where the feminine and the divine intersected, where the cycles of life were celebrated and honored. And in this, they remind us that the story of stone circles isn't just about stones or stars. It's about people who sought to understand their place in the cosmos and to create a world that reflected their deepest beliefs. This exploration of gender roles in ancient societies invites us to consider how these dynamics might have shaped their worldview. If women were indeed central to the creation and use of stone circles, what does that tell us about their values, their priorities, and their vision of the world? As we continue to uncover the secrets of these ancient monuments, we're reminded that history is not a single story but a tapestry of voices, each contributing to the rich and complex narrative of our shared past. The towering stones of ancient circles stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time, but not all of these monuments endured as places of reverence or activity. Some were abandoned, their purpose lost to the ages, leaving behind enigmatic ruins that puzzle us to this day. What caused these once thriving sites to fall into disuse? Was it a shift in spiritual beliefs, a collapse of society, or a changing environment that rendered them obsolete? The mystery of abandoned stone circles offers a fascinating glimpse into the fragility of human civilizations and the forces that shape their rise and fall. One compelling theory points to environmental changes. Around the time many stone circles were built, the Earth was undergoing significant climatic shifts. In regions like Britain, for example, the climate became cooler and wetter, transforming the landscape. Forests grew denser, and once fertile lands may have become harder to cultivate. For societies that relied heavily on agriculture, these changes could have disrupted their way of life, forcing them to abandon sacred sites in search of more hospitable areas. The stones, once central to their survival and spirituality, may have been left behind as communities migrated or adapted to new realities. Another possibility is societal collapse. Many of the cultures that built stone circles thrived for centuries, but like all civilizations, they were not immune to upheaval. Wars, invasions, or internal strife could have fractured these societies, leading to the abandonment of their monuments. Without the collective effort needed to maintain these sites, they would have gradually fallen into disrepair. The stories and rituals tied to these circles might have been lost as new rulers or cultures imposed their own traditions, leaving the stones to stand as lonely relics of a forgotten past. Shifts in spiritual beliefs could also explain why some stone circles were abandoned. As societies evolved, so too did their understanding of the divine. The gods and forces once honored within these circles might have been replaced by new deities or religious practices. What was once a sacred space could have lost its significance, becoming a place of memory rather than active worship. Over time, the knowledge of why these circles were built and how they were used might have faded, leaving only fragments of their original purpose. Yet, there's also the possibility that their purpose was never fully understood by later generations. Imagine a society that inherits the stones but no longer remembers their meaning. Without the oral traditions or rituals that once animated these sites, they might have been seen as curiosities or even sources of fear. The stones, once gateways to the cosmos, could have become objects of superstition, avoided rather than revered. This gradual erosion of knowledge would have transformed the circles from living monuments to silent enigmas. What can these abandoned sites teach us about the civilizations that built them? They remind us that even the most enduring creations are shaped by the ebb and flow of human history. They show us how fragile our connection to the past can be and how easily the stories of our ancestors can be lost. Yet they also reveal the resilience of human ingenuity. Even in ruins, these stones continue to inspire awe and curiosity, inviting us to uncover their secrets and piece together the stories of those who came before us. As we stand among these ancient stones, we're reminded that the past is not a static thing. It's a living, evolving story. Each abandoned circle is a chapter in that story, a testament to the rise and fall of civilizations, the shifting tides of belief, and the enduring power of human creativity. And as we continue to explore these enigmatic ruins, we may yet uncover more about the people who built them, and what their abandonment can teach us about our own place in the grand tapestry of history. The story of stone circles doesn't end with their builders. These ancient monuments, standing for millennia as silent witnesses to the cosmos, may have left an indelible mark on the development of modern astronomy. While the tools and technologies of today's astronomers are light years ahead of those used by ancient stargazers, the fundamental questions they sought to answer about the movements of celestial bodies, the nature of time, and humanity's place in the universe remain strikingly similar. Could it be that the legacy of stone circles helped shape the path of modern astronomy? One of the most fascinating connections lies in the precision with which ancient peoples observed the heavens. The alignment of stones with solstices, equinoxes, and lunar cycles demonstrates a level of astronomical knowledge that was far ahead of its time. Modern astronomers, equipped with telescopes and satellites, have built upon this foundation, mapping the cosmos with ever greater accuracy. Yet, the principles of observation and measurement that guided the builders of stone circles, such as tracking the sun's path or predicting celestial events, are still at the heart of astronomy today. In a way, these ancient monuments were the first observatories, setting the stage for the scientific exploration of the universe. The influence of stone circles extends beyond their physical alignments. They also represent a mindset, a curiosity about the cosmos, and a desire to understand its mysteries. This same curiosity drives modern astronomers who continue to explore questions that would have resonated with ancient stargazers. What lies beyond the stars? How did the universe begin, and what does it mean to be part of something so vast and unknowable? The continuity of this quest for knowledge is a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity. Some researchers have even suggested that ancient stone circles might have inspired early astronomers in more direct ways. In Europe, for example, medieval scholars studying the night sky may have drawn on the knowledge preserved in local folklore and traditions tied to these monuments. The alignment of stones with celestial events could have served as a kind of living textbook, passing down astronomical wisdom through generations. Even today, the study of ancient sites like Stonehenge or Callanish offers valuable insights into how early humans understood the cosmos, providing a bridge between the past and present. What's truly remarkable is how these ancient structures continue to inspire us. Modern astronomers often speak of the awe they feel when looking at the night sky, a feeling that echoes the reverence ancient peoples must have felt as they stood within their stone circles. This shared sense of wonder highlights a profound truth. The desire to explore and understand the universe is a timeless part of what it means to be human. As we reflect on the legacy of stone circles, it's clear that their influence extends far beyond the stones themselves. They remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is a journey that spans centuries, connecting us to the people who came before and those who will follow. And as modern astronomers peer deeper into the cosmos, they carry forward a tradition that began with the builders of these ancient monuments, a tradition of looking to the stars and asking, what else is out there? This connection between past and present invites us to see astronomy not just as a science, but as a story, one that began with stone circles and continues to unfold with every new discovery. It's a story that reminds us of our shared humanity and the boundless curiosity that drives us to explore the unknown. And in that, perhaps, lies the greatest legacy of these ancient monuments. Among the many mysteries of stone circles, one aspect often overlooked is the role of sound. These ancient structures, with their towering stones and precise alignments, may have been designed not just to be seen but to be heard. Recent research has revealed that many stone circles possess remarkable acoustic properties, suggesting that sound could have played a vital role in the rituals and ceremonies conducted within them. From echoing whispers to resonant chants, the stones themselves might have been instruments, amplifying and transforming sound in ways that deepened the spiritual experience. Take, for example, the Callanish stones in Scotland. Studies have shown that the arrangement of these stones creates unique acoustic effects. When standing at the center of the circle, even a soft voice can produce a distinct echo, as if the stones are speaking back. This phenomenon isn't unique to Callanish. Similar effects have been observed at sites like Stonehenge and Avebury. These acoustic properties suggest that sound wasn't just an incidental part of ceremonies. It may have been a deliberate feature designed to enhance the sense of connection to the divine. But how might sound have been used in these ancient rituals? Some researchers propose that chanting, drumming, or even singing within the circles could have created a powerful, immersive experience. The reverberations of sound bouncing off the stones might have been interpreted as the voice of the gods or the spirits of the ancestors. Imagine a group of people gathered within the circle, their voices rising in unison, the stones amplifying their chants into a symphony of sound that seemed to fill the air with energy. For participants, this could have felt like a direct link to the sacred, a moment when the boundaries between the earthly and the spiritual dissolve. Experiments have shed fascinating light on these theories. In one study, scientists used modern audio equipment to map the acoustic properties of Stonehenge. They discovered that the stones act as natural amplifiers, creating a resonant space where sound lingers longer than in the open air. This effect, known as reverberation, would have made any music or chanting performed within the circle feel richer and more otherworldly. Similar studies at other sites have found that certain stones produce unique tones when struck, leading some to speculate that the circles might have functioned as massive musical instruments. The idea of sound as a spiritual tool isn't unique to stone circles. Many ancient cultures used music and rhythm in their rituals, believing that sound could bridge the gap between the human and the divine. In this context, the acoustic properties of stone circles take on new significance. They might have been designed not just to mark celestial events or honor the gods, but to create a multisensory experience that engaged both sight and sound. The combination of visual alignments with the heavens and the immersive power of sound could have made these circles profoundly transformative spaces. This raises a compelling question. Could sound have been part of their cosmic purpose? If these structures were indeed cosmic maps or spiritual gateways, as some theories suggest, then sound might have been a way to activate or enhance their power. The vibrations of chanting or drumming could have been seen as a way to tune in to the frequencies of the universe, aligning the earthly with the celestial. In this sense, stone circles weren't just monuments, they were instruments designed to harmonize humanity with the rhythms of the cosmos. As we explore the role of sound in these ancient structures, we're reminded that their purpose was likely as multifaceted as the people who built them. They weren't just places to observe the heavens or mark the passage of time. They were spaces where the senses converged, creating experiences that were as profound as they were mysterious. And as we continue to uncover the secrets of these ancient monuments, we may yet discover how sound, like the stones themselves, was a bridge between the earth and the stars. The towering stones of ancient circles may have served as more than just astronomical tools or spiritual gateways. Some researchers suggest they were also places of healing. Imagine standing within one of these circles, the air tinged with the scent of medicinal herbs, as the stones themselves seem to hum with an unseen energy. Could these ancient monuments have been designed not only to connect with the cosmos, but also to promote physical and spiritual well-being? The idea of stone circles as healing spaces opens up a fascinating new dimension to their purpose, one that reflects the holistic worldview of the societies that built them. One theory proposes that stone circles were aligned with Earth's natural energies, creating spaces where these forces could be harnessed for healing. This concept draws on the idea of ley lines, hypothetical energy pathways that crisscross the Earth. According to this view, the precise placement of stones might have amplified or channeled these energies, turning the circles into powerful sites for physical and spiritual restoration. For ancient peoples who saw no separation between the body, mind, and spirit, such spaces would have been invaluable, offering a way to harmonize with the natural world and restore balance. Archaeological evidence adds weight to this theory. At several stone circle sites, researchers have uncovered traces of medicinal plants and herbs, suggesting that these spaces were used for healing practices. For example, near the Rollright stones in England, remnants of plants like chamomile and yarrow, both known for their medicinal properties, have been found. These discoveries hint at rituals that combine the physical benefits of herbal remedies with the spiritual power of the stones, creating a holistic approach to health and well-being. But healing in these circles might have gone beyond the physical. The alignment of stones with celestial events such as solstices or lunar cycles could have been seen as a way to tap into the rhythms of the cosmos, bringing the body and spirit into harmony with the universe. For ancient societies, illness was often viewed as a disruption of this cosmic balance, and healing involved not just treating the body but also restoring this connection. Stone circles, with their ties to the earth and the heavens, would have been ideal spaces for such practices. The role of sound might also have played a part in these healing rituals. As we've explored earlier, the acoustic properties of many stone circles could have created a resonant environment, enhancing the effects of chanting, drumming, or singing. For ancient healers, these sounds might have been tools for restoring balance, using vibrations to align the body's energies or to invoke the presence of healing spirits. The combination of sound, scent, and the stones themselves would have created a multisensory experience, deeply rooted in the spiritual and natural world. This holistic approach to healing reflects a worldview that saw no division between the physical and the spiritual. For ancient societies, health wasn't just about curing ailments. It was about maintaining harmony with the earth, the cosmos, and the community. Stone circles, as spaces where these elements converged, would have been central to this understanding, offering a place where healing could take place on multiple levels. As we consider the possibility of stone circles as healing sites, we're reminded of the profound connection our ancestors felt to the natural world. They saw the earth not as a resource to be exploited, but as a living, breathing entity filled with energy and spirit. And in these ancient monuments, they created spaces where that connection could be nurtured, where the rhythms of the cosmos could be felt, and where healing, both physical and spiritual, could flourish. What does this tell us about the societies that built these circles? It suggests a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, a worldview that saw health and well-being as part of a larger cosmic order. And as we continue to explore these ancient sites, we may yet uncover more about how they sought to heal not just the body, but the soul as well. This exploration of stone circles as healing spaces invites us to reflect on our own relationship with the natural world. In a modern age often dominated by technology and speed, these ancient monuments remind us of the power of connection to the earth, to the cosmos, and to each other. Perhaps in their stones we can find a path to restoring that balance, rediscovering the holistic wisdom of our ancestors and the timeless truths they sought to honor. Among the towering stones of ancient circles, another layer of meaning emerges, one shaped by the creatures that roamed the earth alongside our ancestors. Animals, both real and mythical, played a significant role in the art and symbolism of stone circles, offering clues to the beliefs and values of the societies that built them. From carvings of stags and birds to the enigmatic shapes of serpents and wolves, these depictions reveal a deep connection between humanity, the natural world, and the cosmos. What might these animal symbols tell us about how ancient peoples understood their place in the universe? The presence of animals in stone circle art is far from random. In many ancient cultures, animals were seen as more than just sources of food or labor. They were symbols of power, wisdom, and spiritual significance. For instance, stags often appear in carvings and engravings at sites like Newgrange in Ireland. With their majestic antlers and graceful movements, stags were likely associated with vitality, regeneration, and the cycles of nature. Their depiction within stone circles might have symbolized a connection to the Earth's rhythms, mirroring the celestial cycles marked by the stones themselves. Birds, too, hold a prominent place in the symbolism of these ancient monuments. From owls to eagles, birds were often seen as messengers between the earthly and the divine. Their ability to soar into the skies might have made them powerful symbols of cosmic connection, linking the stones below to the heavens above. At sites like Callanish in Scotland, some researchers suggest that the alignment of stones could represent the wings of a bird, further emphasizing this celestial link. Perhaps even more intriguing are the depictions of mythical creatures such as serpents or dragons. These beings, often associated with water, fertility, or transformation, appear in carvings and myths across many cultures. In the context of stone circles, they might have symbolized the flow of life, the cycles of rebirth, or even the forces of chaos and order that shaped the universe. The intertwining of these creatures with the stones could reflect an ancient understanding of the cosmos as a dynamic, ever-changing tapestry, where the natural and the supernatural were deeply intertwined. But the connection between animals and stone circles goes beyond symbolism. Some researchers suggest that certain animals might have been seen as guides or mediators in ancient cosmology. For example, the alignment of stones with celestial events could have been interpreted as a form of communication with the divine, with animals acting as intermediaries. A stag's appearance during a solstice ceremony or a bird's flight across the stones might have been seen as a sign from the gods offering guidance or affirmation. This raises an intriguing question. Could the animals depicted in stone circles have been part of a larger cosmic narrative? In many ancient cultures, animals were integral to creation myths, serving as the architects of the world or the bearers of sacred knowledge. By incorporating these beings into their monuments, the builders of stone circles might have been expressing a belief in the interconnectedness of all life, a worldview where humans, animals, and the cosmos were part of a single, unified whole. As we explore the role of animals in stone circle symbolism, we're reminded of the profound connection our ancestors felt to the natural world. They saw animals not just as resources or symbols, but as partners in the great dance of existence, a dance that included the earth, the heavens, and everything in between. And in the stones they left behind, they inscribed a story of harmony, balance, and respect for the living world. This exploration invites us to reflect on our own relationship with animals and nature. In a modern age often marked by disconnection, these ancient monuments remind us of the timeless bond between humanity and the creatures we share the earth with. They challenge us to see animals not just as part of the landscape, but as messengers, guides, and fellow travelers on the journey of life. What secrets might these animal symbols still hold? Could they offer new insights into the beliefs and practices of ancient societies? As we continue to unravel the mysteries of stone circles, we may yet discover how these creatures shaped the worldview of their builders and what they can teach us about our own place in the cosmos. The towering stones of ancient circles rise from landscapes as diverse as the cultures that built them, from the windswept moors of Britain to the arid plains of Senegal. But what role did climate and geography play in shaping these monumental structures? The answer lies in the intricate relationship between the Earth's natural forces and human ingenuity. For ancient societies, the environment wasn't just a backdrop. It was a partner in their quest to create something enduring and meaningful. Building stone circles in harsh or unpredictable climates presented significant challenges. In regions like the Orkney Islands, where biting winds and relentless rain dominate the landscape, the construction of sites like the Ring of Brodgar would have required not only physical strength but also a deep understanding of the environment. The builders had to select stones that could withstand erosion, position them to avoid flooding, and design structures that could endure the elements for millennia. These challenges were not unique to the Orkneys across the globe. Ancient peoples adapted their designs to suit the geography and climate of their surroundings. In warmer, drier regions such as parts of Africa and the Middle East, stone circles often took on different forms. Here, the challenges were less about weathering and more about access to resources. Transporting massive stones across vast, arid landscapes would have required careful planning and coordination. Some researchers suggest that these societies may have timed their construction efforts to coincide with seasonal rains, using the softened ground to ease the movement of stones. Others propose that they chose locations near natural quarries or water sources, minimizing the effort needed to transport materials. These adaptations reveal a remarkable ability to work with the land rather than against it. But climate didn't just shape how stone circles were built, it may have also influenced why they were built. In periods of environmental stability, such as the Neolithic era, communities had the resources and security to invest in monumental projects. During times of climatic change, however, the story shifts. Around 4,000 years ago, many parts of the world experienced significant shifts in weather patterns. In Europe, for example, a cooler, wetter climate may have made agriculture more difficult, leading some communities to abandon their stone circles in search of more hospitable lands. This raises an intriguing question. Could climate change have been a driving force behind both the construction and abandonment of these ancient monuments? Some researchers believe that the challenges posed by a changing environment may have inspired societies to create stone circles as a way to mark and predict seasonal changes, ensuring their survival. When those same changes became too severe, however, the circles may have been left behind as communities adapted to new realities. What's truly remarkable is the resilience and ingenuity of these ancient builders. They didn't just endure their environments, they thrived within them, using their knowledge of the land and sky to create structures that stood the test of time. Their ability to adapt to the challenges of geography and climate speaks to a profound connection with the natural world, one that continues to inspire us today. As we reflect on the influence of climate on stone circles, we're reminded of the delicate balance between humanity and the earth. These ancient monuments are more than just stones. They are testaments to the creativity and perseverance of the people who built them. And as we continue to explore their stories, we may yet uncover more about how they navigated the challenges of their time and what lessons their resilience might hold for ours. The towering stones of ancient circles may seem like isolated monuments standing alone against the backdrop of history, but the truth is far more interconnected. These enigmatic structures weren't just the work of isolated communities. They were part of a vast web of trade and cultural exchange that spanned continents and centuries. From the movement of goods to the sharing of ideas, the societies that built stone circles were deeply linked, drawing on a shared pool of knowledge that shaped their understanding of the cosmos and their place within it. Evidence of trade among stone circle societies is etched into the stones themselves. Many of the materials used in their construction, like the distinctive blue stones of Stonehenge, were sourced from distant locations, sometimes hundreds of miles away. Transporting these massive stones wasn't just a feat of engineering. It required networks of communication and cooperation between communities. This suggests that these societies weren't isolated but part of a larger, interconnected world where goods and ideas flowed freely across borders. But trade wasn't just about materials, it was also about knowledge. The precise alignments of stone circles with celestial events suggest a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, one that may have been shared and refined through cultural exchange. Imagine a traveler from one community visiting another, bringing with them stories of the stars and the secrets of their own stone circle. Over time, these exchanges could have created a shared cosmic language, one that transcended local traditions and connected distant peoples. This interconnectedness is reflected in the similarities between stone circles across the globe. From the megalithic sites of Europe to the Senegambian circles of West Africa, many of these monuments share striking design features, such as circular layouts and alignments with solstices or equinoxes. These parallels suggest that the builders of these circles weren't working in isolation, but were part of a broader cultural network, one that valued and preserved a shared understanding of the heavens. The movement of people played a key role in this exchange. Whether through migration, trade expeditions, or seasonal gatherings, ancient peoples were far more mobile than we often assume. These journeys would have brought them into contact with new ideas and technologies, enriching their own traditions and contributing to the evolution of stone circle construction. For instance, the discovery of artifacts like pottery, tools, and ornaments at stone circle sites often reveals influences from distant cultures, hinting at the flow of goods and ideas across vast distances. What's truly fascinating is how this interconnectedness might have shaped the purpose of stone circles. If these structures were part of a global network of knowledge, their role could have extended far beyond their local communities. They might have served as meeting points for travelers, places where knowledge was exchanged and traditions were shared. In this sense, stone circles weren't just monuments to the cosmos, they were hubs of cultural and intellectual exchange, linking distant peoples through a shared fascination with the stars. This raises an intriguing question. Could stone circles have been part of a global network of knowledge, one that predates our modern understanding of history? Some researchers believe that the similarities between these monuments point to a deeper connection, perhaps even a shared origin or a universal human impulse to understand the cosmos. While there's no definitive evidence to prove this theory, the parallels between these ancient sites are impossible to ignore. As we explore the role of trade and exchange in stone circle cultures, we're reminded of the profound connections that bind humanity together. These ancient monuments stand not just as testaments to the ingenuity of their builders, but also as symbols of a shared human story, one that spans continents, cultures, and millennia. And as we continue to uncover the secrets of these ancient sites, we may yet discover how they reflect the timeless desire to connect, to learn, and to understand our place in the universe. This exploration invites us to see stone circles in a new light, not as isolated relics of the past, but as part of a living, evolving network of knowledge. They remind us that, even in the ancient world, humanity was already reaching out, sharing ideas, and building bridges across the vast expanse of time and space. And in that, perhaps, lies their greatest legacy, a testament to the enduring power of connection and the timeless quest for understanding. As we stand on the brink of new discoveries, the future of stone circle research holds immense promise. The mysteries of these ancient monuments, which have captivated humanity for millennia, are far from fully unraveled. With the rapid advancement of technology and the growing collaboration between archaeologists, historians, astronomers, and even geologists, we are poised to uncover secrets that could reshape our understanding of the past. From ground-penetrating radar to 3D modeling, cutting-edge tools are opening doors to insights that were once unimaginable, offering us a clearer picture of how these enigmatic structures were built, used, and revered. One of the most exciting developments is the use of LiDAR technology. By mapping the Earth's surface with laser pulses, researchers can uncover hidden features beneath the ground, ancient pathways, buried stones, or even entire circles that have been lost to time. This technology has already transformed our understanding of sites like Stonehenge, revealing a landscape far more complex than previously imagined. As LiDAR becomes more widely accessible, it could unlock similar revelations at stone circles across the globe, helping us piece together the broader story of these ancient societies. Another promising avenue is the application of DNA analysis and isotopic studies to human remains found near stone circles. By examining the genetic makeup and dietary patterns of these individuals, scientists can trace migration patterns, social hierarchies, and even the roles of specific groups within these societies. Were the builders of stone circles part of a tightly knit community, or did they draw on a network of distant allies? Did certain individuals hold specialized roles, such as astronomers or spiritual leaders? These questions, once the realm of speculation, are now within reach thanks to the precision of modern science. Interdisciplinary approaches are also revolutionizing the field. By combining the expertise of archaeologists with that of astronomers, for example, researchers can gain a deeper understanding of the celestial alignments at stone circles. Similarly, collaborations with anthropologists and historians can shed light on the cultural and spiritual significance of these sites. This holistic approach allows us to see stone circles not just as isolated monuments, but as part of a larger tapestry of human experience, woven together by threads of knowledge, belief, and ingenuity. Yet, as we look to the future, it's crucial to remember the importance of preservation. These ancient sites are fragile, vulnerable to the ravages of time, climate change, and human activity. Protecting them is not just about safeguarding stones, it's about preserving the stories they tell, stories of human creativity, resilience, and connection to the cosmos. Efforts to conserve these monuments must go hand in hand with research, ensuring that future generations can continue to learn from and be inspired by these timeless wonders. As we reflect on the enduring mystery and significance of stone circles, it's clear that their story is far from over. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding the minds and hearts of the people who built them, yet it also reminds us how much remains to be uncovered. These ancient monuments are more than relics of the past. They are living links to a world that saw the earth and sky as deeply intertwined, where the rhythms of the cosmos were woven into the fabric of daily life. And as we continue to explore their secrets, we are reminded of the timeless human quest to understand our place in the universe, a quest that began with the builders of stone circles and continues with us today. What will the next chapter of this ancient story reveal? As we harness the power of new technologies and collaborative approaches, the possibilities are as vast as the night sky itself. And in the stones that have stood for millennia, we may yet find answers to questions we've only begun to ask. As we draw this exploration to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary journey we've taken through the mysteries of stone circles. These ancient monuments scattered across the globe stand as silent witnesses to a time when humanity first began to look to the heavens and ask profound questions about the universe. From their precise alignments with celestial events to their intricate designs, stone circles reveal a level of astronomical knowledge and engineering skill that continues to amaze us. Whether they served as calendars to track the seasons, cosmic maps to navigate the stars, or sacred spaces to commune with the divine, their purpose remains a captivating enigma. What's clear is that stone circles were far more than just collections of stones. They were expressions of a worldview that saw no separation between the earth and the cosmos, the practical and the spiritual. For the people who built them, these circles were bridges to the divine, tools for survival, and symbols of unity, reflecting a deep connection to the rhythms of nature and the mysteries of existence. Their enduring presence reminds us of the ingenuity, creativity, and resilience of our ancestors, who sought to make sense of their world with the tools and knowledge they had. The question of whether stone circles were calendars, cosmic maps, or something even more profound may never be fully answered, and perhaps that's part of their magic. These ancient monuments invite us to wonder, to question, and to explore. They challenge us to see the world through the eyes of those who came before us, to marvel at their achievements, and to consider the timeless human drive to understand our place in the universe. As we stand in the shadow of these stones, we're reminded that the pursuit of knowledge is a journey without end. Each generation builds on the discoveries of the past, adding new layers of understanding to the stories left behind by those who walked the earth long before us. Stone circles are not just relics of history, they are living reminders of our shared humanity, our boundless curiosity, and our enduring quest to unlock the secrets of the cosmos. Before we part ways, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you believe was the true purpose of stone circles? Do you see them as practical tools, spiritual gateways, or something else entirely? Share your ideas in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation alive. And as we close, let's take inspiration from the words of Carl Sagan, who once said, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." Stone circles are a testament to that sentiment, standing as timeless symbols of humanity's unyielding curiosity and our endless desire to explore the unknown. So, wherever your journey takes you, remember to look up, to wonder, and to never stop seeking the incredible. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the mysteries of stone circles. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep marveling at the wonders of our world and the